How to file a complaint with the Human Rights Council. Have you ever wondered how individuals can bring attention to human rights violations? The United Nations Human Rights Council provides a way for people to voice their concerns. Let's break down how to file a complaint with this important institution. First, who can file a complaint? Individuals, groups of individuals, and non-governmental organizations can submit complaints. However, anonymous complaints are not accepted. You can file on behalf of victims or if you have direct knowledge of the violations. Next, let's talk about the language and format. Your complaint must be written in one of the 6 official United Nations languages: Arabic, Chinese, English, French, Russian, or Spanish. It should clearly describe the facts, including the names of victims, dates, locations, and any relevant evidence. Keep your text to no more than 15 pages and avoid using abusive or insulting language. Now, what about admissibility criteria? Your complaint must not be politically motivated. It should not rely solely on mass media reports. Additionally, the issue should not already be under consideration by another United Nations or regional human rights mechanism. You must have exhausted domestic remedies unless they are ineffective or unreasonably delayed. Lastly, your complaint should show a consistent pattern of serious human rights violations, not just isolated incidents. Confidentiality is also important. The process is confidential. The Human Rights Council does not decide on individual cases, but looks at situations indicating systematic violations. You may be informed if your complaint is taken up, but detailed steps and outcomes usually remain confidential unless made public by the Council. When it comes to submission, send your complaints and related correspondence to the Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights at the United Nations office in Geneva. Make sure to include the correct postal address, fax, and email designated for the complaint procedure. What happens after you submit your complaint? The Council may discontinue consideration if no further action is needed. They might request additional information from the state involved. They can also appoint independent experts to monitor the situation or recommend assistance to the state to improve human rights conditions. In the context of international humanitarian law, including the Geneva Conventions and the laws of armed conflict, complaints to the United Nations Human Rights Council can address violations affecting civilians and combatants during armed conflicts. This complaint procedure helps highlight breaches of protections guaranteed under international humanitarian law, such as unlawful targeting of civilians or mistreatment of prisoners. Overall, this complaint procedure is a tool to address serious human rights violations, including those arising in times of war. It supports the fundamental aspects of international humanitarian law concerning the protection of individuals in armed conflict.